Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here this evening, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. This is our first meeting of the new year of 2018, and this first meeting is always our organizational meeting. So we have 40 business items on the agenda tonight that we'll be addressing momentarily. But before we get started, as always, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So everybody please rise. And Jonathan Schneider, would you lead us this evening? Absolutely. And also recognize our troops as well?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you remain standing for a moment of silence and reflect upon the sacrifices that our servicemen and women are making domestically and overseas, as well as our first responders, given light of the shootings at the deputy sheriffs in Colorado recently. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Okay.
4 injured, 1 dead.
Once again, thank you all for being here this evening. And I'd like to congratulate and welcome our newest board member, Michael Borelli. He's, as you see, he's seated all the way down to my left, next to council, and Susie has been reassigned Councilman Lombardi's seat because Susie will be my new deputy supervisor. So that's why we did a little bit of shuffling around here with our seating arrangements, but the deputy supervisor always sits either to the right or to the left of the supervisor in the middle of the dais. So Susie just moved into a Councilman Lombardi, former Councilman Lombardi seat. So she's closer to kick me and smack me from where she is now. Better vantage point for Susie. But so with us tonight, all board members are present, and all the way down to my right is Ann Spofford, our town clerk. All the way down to my left is Greg Falchetti, the Carmel Town Council. And before we get started, I want to give a really big shout out and kudos to our town receiver of taxes and her staff. The past week and a half or so, they've been inundated with residents and property owners coming in to pay their property taxes, prepay their property taxes in advance of 2018. And I spoke to Kathy today, Kathy Kraus, Gary Kieran, and Antoinette Pesavento, who work in that office. They had over 800 people come to the town hall and prepay their property taxes. They said it was just one after the other. There was a line out of the door. So they worked really hard this past week. They really kicked it in and worked a lot of hours. And they addressed all the property owners that came in. They were able to provide assistance to them with their property amounts and their property taxes that they'd be paying in 2018. And they said it went very well, and most people were receptive and understood the challenges that were in that office for the past 8 or 10 days. So I just want to thank Kathleen and her staff for a job well done. Thank you so much. Okay, prior to coming out here this evening, the town board met at 6 p.m. in executive session to discuss a personnel matter with one of our town judges. Joe Spofford was in there discussing personnel items within the town court's office. So we met with Joe. So as I stated, this is our organizational meeting. This is probably a meeting with the most resolutions that you'll hear from us for the entire year. There's 40 resolutions on for tonight. So we're going to start down with Jonathan Schneider with resolution number 1, and it's a resolution setting seating order of the town board members for 2018. So Councilman Schneider, would you read number 1?
Be it resolved that the town board members will be seated as follows: left to right facing the dais, Jonathan Schneider, Suzanne McDonough, Kenneth Schmidt, John Lupinacci, and Michael Borelli. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, the second resolution is a resolution setting the roll call voting order of the town board members. And Councilwoman McDonough, would you read number 2, please?
Sure. Resolved that the roll call voting order of the town board shall be as follows: Michael Borelli, Jonathan Schneider, John Lupinacci, Suzanne McDonough, and Kenneth Schmidt. I office this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
All those in favor?
Oh, yeah, do you want to do it that way? Will it be, make it easier?
Oh, is that from you?
Okay, all right. Yeah, it makes sense, Jonathan. I think we did
Oh,
it
that's
last
not me,
year.
that's
Oh, it was
completely
Ann?
our town
Oh,
clerk. Thank you
okay.
so much for her.
Our esteemed town clerk has just passed a note over to me saying that I could just ask for all in favor, as opposed to reading, on certain resolutions. There's some resolutions we're going to have to do a roll call vote. But let me know which ones, okay?
Anything that doesn't have to do with money or,
Oh, okay.
Or an appointment.
Or an appointment. Okay. All right, so we'll do it that way. Thanks, Ann. All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution number 3 is a resolution establishing dates, times, and location of town board meetings. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 3, please?
Resolved that all regular meetings of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel shall be held on the first and third Wednesday of each month, commencing Wednesday, January 17th, 2018, at the Carmel Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 p.m., except in the month of July, where there should be a meeting on Tuesday, July 3rd, 2018, instead of Wednesday, July 4th, 4th of July, 2018. And be it further resolved that all work sessions of the Town Board of Town of Carmel shall be held on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month, commencing Wednesday, January 10th, 2018, with the exception of the months of November, where the work session shall be held on Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, instead of Wednesday, November 21st, 2018. In the month of December, when no work session meeting shall be held on the fourth Wednesday. All work sessions shall be held at the Carmel Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 p.m., with the exception of the work session meeting to be held on Wednesday, April 25th, 2018, which shall be held in the hamlet of Carmel at the Carmel Firehouse, Vink Drive, Carmel, New York, at 7 p.m. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution carried.
Can I say something on that one?
Sure.
I just want to point out to the public, I thought John would do it, we're working through the summer. There'll be no 2 weeks off in July and 2 weeks off in August, as in the past. And the 3, May, August, and October, we have a 5th Wednesday. We're planning on trying to utilize that for something different than a normal town board meeting. Just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution setting rules of order for town board meetings. Councilman Borelli, would you read number 4, please?
Resolved that the rules of order for town board meetings shall be Robert's Rules of Order newly revised. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution appointing police commissioners. Councilman Schneider, would you read number 5, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints all members of the Town Board to serve as the Board of Police Commissioners. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution passed. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution acknowledging designation of deputy supervisor. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read your own resolution?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby acknowledges the designation by Supervisor Schmidt of Suzanne McDonough as Deputy Supervisor. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Second.
Okay, second. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, with pleasure. Congratulations, Susie.
Thanks.
Yep, thanks so much. Susie's completed 8 years on the town board, so she's the longest serving aside from myself. And Susie's done a great job. She's always had the residents and the taxpayers' best interests at heart, so, and she's always, relatively supported me. We do disagree from time to time, but Susie's does an excellent job, and, I'm honored to have Susie as my deputy supervisor. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your nose is growing.
No, it's not, no. We're doing good. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution appointing the town controller. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read that?
With pleasure.
No.
Resolved that the Town
Oh,
Board...
is it-
Oh, 7.
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Mary Ann Maxwell as Town Comptroller for a term ending December 31st, 2019, at the salary contained in the 2018 budget as adopted. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Mary Ann. Another 2 years as town controller. Great job. Mary Ann does a great job. We all acknowledge that, and I think the public realizes that also. So thanks, Mary Ann. Okay, next resolution, resolution number 8 is a resolution acknowledging appointment of confidential secretary to town supervisor. Councilman Borelli, would you read 8?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby acknowledges the appointment by Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt of Ann Pasquarello as confidential secretary to the supervisor for a term ending December 31st, 2019, at the salary contained in the 2018 budget as adopted. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, second also. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye. Congratulations. Ann Pasquarella has been with me from day one, which was January 1st, 2008. So Ann's been with me for, where are you, Ann? Ann's been with me for 10 years. She does an amazing job running the supervisor's office. She really does. I can count on her for everything. She does everything. She has a tremendous amount of knowledge for the town, and she really runs the office. I'm in there as the town supervisor, but Ann's really the go-to person, you know. So, Ann, thank you so much. And Ann will be with me at least as long as I'm here, and that's going to be for a little while longer. So, thanks so much, Ann. Appreciate everything you do. Okay, next resolution is resolution number 9. It's a resolution appointing assistant to the town board. Councilman Schneider, would you read 9?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Ann Pasquarello as assistant to the Town Board for a term ending December 31st, 2019, at the salary contained in the 2018 budget as adopted. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilwoman Lupinacci. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, motion carried, resolution passes. Thank you, Ann, congratulations again. Okay, next resolution is, 10, is a resolution designating the official newspapers of the town of Carmel. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 10?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel designates the Putnam County Courier and the Mahopac News as the official newspapers of the Town of Carmel for the year 2018 at the unit rates referenced in the proposals filed in the office of the town clerk. And be further resolved that in those situations where the town is required by law to publish in a daily newspaper, the Journal News is hereby designated as the daily newspaper in which publication shall be made. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote on this one?
Councilman Borelli?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no problem with the Mahopac News. I have a problem with the Courier. I have to vote no on that because I don't believe they have legal standing for a town newspaper. And everybody I speak to in the hamlet of Carmel, I ask them, what newspaper would you like, which would you like? And they all tell me the Times Press. So, I mean, I know it's going to carry. I just want to make that out there, that I have no problem with the Mahopac News, but I have a problem with the Courier. I believe the Carmel hamlet is asking for a different newspaper. So my vote is no on that.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. 4 yeses and 1 no. Thank you for that explanation, though, Mike. Okay, next resolution is resolution number 11. It's a resolution designating official depositories. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 11, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby designates any commercial bank authorized to do business in the state of New York as an official depository for Town of Carmel funds and investments, provided all deposits are properly collateralized in accordance with New York State law, and hereby authorizes the town supervisor to deposit funds in any authorized depository for fiscal year 2018 in order to obtain the minimum rate of interest on said deposits. I offer this resolution as read.
Amend to say maximum rate of interest?
Maximum rate of interest.
Second.
I offer
As
that
amended.
amendment.
Okay. All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried, thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution designating an insurance agent for the town. Councilman Borelli, would you read number 12, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the Brown and Brown of New York, Inc., doing business as Spain Agency, 625 Route 6, Mayapack, New York, as insurance agents and brokers of record for the Town of Carmel for the year 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, there is one amendment that I think we should make where appoints, should that be designates? With the should we take appoints out and put designates?
Designation is more
Designation.
appropriate. Either one will work.
Okay.
You want to offer it as amended?
Yeah, or I offer the
Second-
resolution as
second the
amended.
amendment.
All right, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci, as amended. Does everybody have the amendment? Take out appoints and just put designates? Okay. Ian, you have that?
Got it.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution authorizing petty cash funds for fiscal year 2018. Councilman Schneider, would you read 13, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the establishment of petty cash funds in the following departments at the following amounts for fiscal year 2018. Supervisor, $200, Receiver of Taxes, $500, Justice Court, $200, Recreation, $200, Town Clerk, $200, Police Chief, $200, Building Maintenance, $100, Superintendent of Highways, $200. We offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 14, is a resolution setting mileage rate for fiscal year 2018. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 14?
Sure, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby establishes the mileage reimbursement rate for 2018 at the IRS rate for 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider and Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 15, is a resolution setting rates for the 2018 Highway Department temporary help. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 15, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby sets the following rates for Highway Department temporary help for the fiscal year 2018. Private plowers, minimum 2,500 series truck and 1-ton truck with plow, $60 per hour. Driver, labor only in town trucks, $30 per hour. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Thank you. Yes.
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 16, is a resolution designating council members as liaisons to special committees. Councilman Borelli, would you read 16, please?
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates the following town council members as liaisons for the following purposes. I'm offer as pre-filed with the town clerk, and it basically spells out the duties of myself, Ms. McDonough, Mr. Lupinacci, and Mr. Schneider with different boards.
I second the motion.
Okay, it was offered by Councilman Borelli.
I'd like to amend it to take ARB out of the responsibilities of two of our board members, since there's no ARB.
Okay, good catch.
You need to thank the town clerk again on
Yeah,
that one.
town clerk, thank you.
For two tonight.
We have,
Okay,
Kenny, a question on this one, too.
yes,
Do we have an ethics board?
We do.
we do. Yes. So we're moving, as amended. As pre-filed and amended.
I second that.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thank you for that catch, Ann. Okay, next resolution, 17, is a resolution appointing chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilman Schneider, would you read 17?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Harold Gary as chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board for the year 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci and Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Explanation on my no vote. I've stood in front of Mr. Harold Gary probably more than anybody in the last 30 years, 20 some odd years. And if I ran on a platform of change, and to have somebody leading the planning board for over 20 years, I think is just a little too much. He's a gentleman, I love him, but I think it's time for a change there. My vote is no.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried, 4 yeses and 1 no. Okay, next resolution, number 17. Is it 18?
18.
I'm sorry, okay, 18. 18, resolution appointing vice chair for the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 18,
Short
please?
resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Greg Paper as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board for the year 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Again, I'll vote no, but I vote with the reasoning behind it, as I believe Craig should be one of the people considered for chairman, in my mind.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried, 4 yeses and 1 no. Okay, next resolution, number 19, is a resolution making appointment to the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 19?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Anthony Gianico to the Town of Carmel Planning Board for a term commencing January 1st, 2018, and expiring December 31st, 2024. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes on Anthony, and I also believe he should be one of the other people considered for chairman.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor
Needs to
Schmidt?
go in.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 20, is a resolution appointing chairman to the Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Borelli, would you read 20, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints John Maxwell as chairman of the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2018. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried, thanks. All right, next resolution, 21, is a resolution appointing vice chair to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Schneider, would you read 21, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Philip Aglietti as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2018. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 22, is a resolution making an appointment to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 22, please?
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints William Rossiter, the Town of Carmel Zoning Boards of Appeal for a term commencing January 1, 2018, and expiring December 31st, 2022. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 23, is a resolution appointing chairman to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 23?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Robert Laga as chairman of the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for the year 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 24, is a resolution appointing vice chairman to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilman Borelli, would you read 24, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Nicholas Fainin as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for the year 2018. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 25, is a resolution setting salaries for fiscal year 2018 for certain officials of the town of the town of Carmel and for employees of the town not covered by a collective bargaining agreement. Councilman Schneider, would you read 25, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the salaries for fiscal year 2018 for the following officials and employees of the town not covered under the terms of a collective bargaining agreement: Town Comptroller, Receiver of Taxes, Town Justices, Town Engineer, Director of Parks and Recreation, Town Assessor, Deputy Town Clerk, Deputy Highway Superintendent, Deputy Receiver of Taxes, Confidential Secretary to the Supervisor, Assistant to the Board, and at the amounts set forth in the 2018 budget as adopted. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
No.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. 4 yes and 1 no. Okay, next resolution, number 26, is a resolution making a permanent appointment of senior recreation leader in the town of Carmel. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 26, please?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby permanently appoints Nina Kalmeyer as Senior Recreation Leader on a permanent basis, effective immediately, subject to the provisions of the CSEA Collective Bargaining Agreement and Civil Service Law and the Civil Service Rules and Regulations. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded?
Second.
Proudly.
Yeah, second also. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes, with
Councilman-
pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes, with
Super-
pleasure.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, with pleasure also. Motion carries. Congratulations, Nina's here with us tonight. Nina Kalmeyer, congratulations. You're doing an excellent job, Nina, and, you know, this was with pleasure that we made you permanent, so keep up the good work. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, next resolution is number 27. It's a resolution making promotional probationary appointment of senior real property appraiser in the Town of Carmel Assessor's Office. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 27?
Yes, resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Brian Scott McMillan to Senior Real Property Appraiser in the Town of Carmel Assessor's Office, retroactive to January 1st, 2018, on a probationary basis, subject to the provisions of Civil Service Law and Civil Service Rules and Regulation. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes, with
Supervi-
pleasure.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, with pleasure also. Motion carried. Congratulations, Scott. Scott's here with us tonight as well. And this promotion was recommended by his boss, Glenn Drosy, the town assessor. And I just want to say this is well-deserved. This is based on merit. Scott does a great job in the assessor's office and during the whole reval process that we undertook recently in the town of Carmel. They were pressed into action up there in the assessor's office, and Scott was right there up front, you know, working hard, you know, to address the issues and to assist the residents with any questions they may have with their assessments, and there were a lot of them. So thank you so much for all you do, and keep up the good work. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, next resolution, number 28, is a resolution making a probationary appointment of assessment assistant in the Town of Carmel Assessor's Office. Councilman Borelli, easy for everyone else to say,
that
right?
one.
Councilman Borelli, would you read that, please?
Okay. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Nancy Jack to the position of Assessment Assistant, retroactive to January 1, 2018, on a probationary basis, subject to the provisions of Civil Service Law and the Civil Service Rules and Regulations. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, second that also. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes, with pleasure, Nancy.
And Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, with pleasure also. Motion carries. Nancy's Jack's here with us tonight also. Congratulations, Nancy. Nancy's been with the town for quite a few years now. She's served in various departments throughout the town, and she's working in the assessor's office now with Glenn Drosy, the town assessor, Scott, and Chris as well. So you do a great job, Nancy, and this is also based on merit as well because of the hard work that you do. And, you know, you're always here, you're constant in the office, and very helpful to residents when they come in as well. So we appreciate that, and I know the taxpayers appreciate it too. So congratulations, best of luck. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, next resolution, number 29, is a resolution creating a job classification of Senior Account Clerk 2 in the Town of Carmel Comptroller's Office and making promotional probationary appointment. Councilman Schneider, would you read 29, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby creates the job classification of Senior Account Clerk 2 in the Town of Carmel Comptroller's Office and appoints Michelle Tanafrantia to said position, retroactive to January 1, 2018, at a CSEA Group 8, Step 1 salary level on a promotional probationary basis and subject to the provisions of civil service law and the civil service rules and regulations. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes, with pleasure.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, absolutely. Motion carried. Congratulations, Michelle. Michelle's here also. And Michelle works extremely hard in the Comptroller's office. She's really Mary Ann's go-to person. There's another Michelle in the office, too, that works hard as well. You know, so they're a good team, the 3 M's, we call them, Mary Ann, Michelle, and Michelle T, and Michelle R. So this is well-deserved also, Michelle. It's merit-based, and it came highly recommended by your boss, the Town Comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, and the town board agreed that based on your performance, this is well-deserved. So continue the hard work that you do, and congratulations. Best of luck.
If I could add something into that too, Kenny.
Yeah.
Between Michelle and Mary Ann, first of all, the Controller's Office, I think, is one of the most important offices in the government, and we probably have one of the best in the state.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Thank you for those words. Yeah, that's absolutely right on mark with that. Okay, so next resolution, number 30, is a resolution making appointments to the Town of Carmel Lake Cassie Park Advisory Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 30, please?
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the following residents to the Town of Carmel Lake Cassie Park District Advisory Board for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2018, and expiring December 31st, 2018. John Aquina, Amanda Guzak, Stacy Ann Kelly, Kim Kugler, William Siclari, Scott Sturbins, and Mario Viskovich. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. And I just want to, acknowledge and thank the members of the Lake Cassie Park District Advisory Board. They do an excellent job. They're not paid, so they volunteer at what they do, and they really do a phenomenal job. And we're very fortunate to have the Lake Cassie Park District Advisory Board working for the residents in the Lake Cassie Park District. They've turned that clubhouse around from what it was to what it is today. So they did an amazing job, and my hat's off to them. And they put a lot of hours in, and we can't thank them enough. So if any of you are watching or listening tonight, Lake Cassie Park District, thank you so much for all that you do for the Town of Carmel and the Lake Cassie residents. Okay, next resolution is number 31, is a resolution making appointments to the Town of Carmel Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board and Subcommittee. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 31?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the following residents to the Town of Carmel Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board for the term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2018, and expiring December 31st, 2018. Edward A. Barnett, J. Crawford, Charles Langlitz, if I mispronounced that name, apologies, James Maxwell, John Maxwell. Be it further resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints the following residents to the Town of Carmel Lake Mahopac Park District Sub-Advisory Committee for the term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2018, and expiring 2018, December 31st, 2018. Robert Frankel, William Frumkin, Joseph Mazzaro, Bert Meltzner, Mark Robertson, and William D. Spain, Jr. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded?
Seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thanks. And I'd also like to extend my thanks and appreciation to the members of the Lake Mahopac Park District for the work that they do for the Lake Mahopac residents. It's a lot of work, It's a big lake, there's a lot of issues, but they're always on top of things, and they contribute quite a bit to the town and for those residents in the Lake Mahopac Park District. So thank you, district members of the Lake Mahopac, for all your work and dedication to the Lake Mahopac Park District. Okay, next, Resolution 32 is a resolution authorizing attendance of officers and employees to attend the Association of Towns Conference. Councilman Borelli, would you read 32, please?
Whereas the annual meeting and training school of the Association of Towns is to be held in New York, New York, from February 18 through the 21st, 2018, and whereas in the past, the information and training available at said meetings and seminars conducted there have proved to be helpful to town officers and employees in their performance of their duties, and it is the best interest of the town of Carmel to have certain of its employees and officers attend such meetings and training schools. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the following officers and employees of the town to attend the Association of Towns Conference in New York, New York, and that the reasonable and necessary expenses of said persons be reimbursed by the town upon audit and approval of the town controller, to the extent reserved in the 2018 conference and seminars line of the court budget. Joseph Spofford, Town Justice; Thomas Jacobellis, Town Justice; Patricia Jenna, Court Clerk; Francine Szymanski, Account Clerk; Marie Paparick, Clerk to the Town Justice; and Lisa Lacadera, Clerk to the Town Justice. Be it further resolved that the entire Town Board of the Town of Carmel is also authorized to attend the Association of Towns Conference in New York, New York, and that their reasonable and necessary expenses be reimbursed by the town upon audit and approval of the Controller's Office. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next, Resolution 33 is a resolution designated Town of Carmel delegates at the 2018 Association of Towns Annual Business Session. Councilman Schneider, would you read 33?
Resolved that Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby designated as the voting delegate, and Councilman Michael Borelli is hereby designated as the alternate voting delegate of the Town of Carmel to the 2018 Annual Business Session of the Association of Towns in the State of New York, to be held in New York City from February 18th through the 21st of 2018, and are hereby authorized to cast the vote of the Town of Carmel pursuant to Section 6 of Article 3 of the Constitution and bylaws of said association. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion. Yes, motion carried. Thanks. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Okay, next resolution, number 34, is a resolution adopting the Town of Carmel 2018 subject matter list and office retention schedule. Susie, would you read 34?
Shall resolve that upon the recommendation of Ann Spofford, Town Clerk, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby adopts the Town of Carmel 2018 subject matter list and record retention schedule as pre-filed with the Town Clerk. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 35, is a resolution authorizing execution of a member agreement endorsement with the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 35?
Yes. Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt to execute the member agreement endorsement form with New York State Municipal Workers drawing a blank there. Compensation Alliance in connection with the provision and workers' compensation insurance coverage to the Town of Carmel for 2018. Drew a blank there. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 36, is a resolution for review and renewal of the Town of Carmel procurement policy. Councilman Borelli, would you read 36?
Whereas Section 104-B of the General Municipal Law requires the governing body of every municipality to annually review their official procurement policy for the purchase of all goods and services which are not required by law to be publicly bid. And whereas the town deems that no revisions are necessary at this time. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby renews the procurement policy which is attached hereto and made to part of hereof, and designates the Town Controller's Office to distribute the policy to all department heads. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates the responsible purchasing agents and titles as set forth within the aforesaid policy. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Borelli, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. So there was one change, and the change was Councilman Lombardi, Frank Lombardi was removed from the procurement policy, and new Councilman Mike Borelli was put in place of Councilman Lombardi. So that was the only change for the, correct, Mary Ann? Just that one change? Councilman Lombardi coming out and Councilman Borelli going in. Right? The only change. Okay, thank you. We did the roll call vote, Ann? We did. Okay, thank you. All right, next resolution, number 37, is a resolution establishing seasonal and temporary and part-time workers' wage rates. Councilman Schneider, would you read 37?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the seasonal, temporary, full-time workers' maximum wage rates for the following title effective January 1, 2018. The title is Seasonal Temp with cumulative hours of 0 to 500 at $12.50, 501 to 1,000 hours, $13.50, 1,001 to 1,500 hours, $14.50, and 1,501 hours on to $15.50. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 38, is a resolution setting rates for 2018 part-time temporary help. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 38, please?
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the following rates for part-time temporary help in the following departments for fiscal year 2018. For the following departments: accounting, assessors, police, town clerk, engineering, recreation, and planning. The minimum is $13 an hour, a maximum is $22 an hour, and it commensurates with experience. And for recycling department, it is $12 an hour minimum, $15 an hour maximum, and it commensurates with experience. I offer this resolution as read.
Okay,
Second.
okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 39, is a resolution accepting a proposal for planning consulting services. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 39?
Yes. Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby accepts the proposal of Patrick Cleary of Cleary Consulting, Northport, New York, for the provision of planning consulting services commencing immediately for an annual sum not to exceed $70,000, and be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates in form and content satisfactory to council, Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is authorized to execute a contract for said service and for any other documentation necessary to accept the aforementioned proposal. I offer this resolution as read.
Okay, offered by Councilman Lupinacci.
Jonathan.
Jonathan, did you second it?
I did.
I seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
No, with an explanation. Again, all due respect to Mr. Cleary, I've stood in front of him a lot in the last 30 years, 25 years, and it's definitely time for a change over in the planning board.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Abstain?
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. So 3 yeses, 1 abstention, and Mike, yours was a no?
Yes.
And 1 no. Okay, thank you. Motion carried with 3 yeses. Okay, this is the 40th and final resolution for tonight, and the resolution is amending and adopting the Town of Carmel Employee Handbook. Councilman Borelli, would you read this?
Respectfully, Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to table this item.
Okay, so you're making a motion to table?
Yes.
Okay. I'll second that motion to table, this resolution for tonight.
Roll call
So,
vote.
yeah, roll call vote, please,
On the table?
on the table.
Councilman Borelli?
We got to take a vote, roll call vote to table. Now, Mike, since you made the motion to table, do you want to explain why you're making that motion to table?
Yes, I've discussed this when I was on the other side of the board, other side of this table, and speaking to most of the employees in the building and that work for the town, there were a lot of changes made to this book, and it hasn't been properly vetted by them yet. And I don't see any reason why it can't be tabled and put off 30 days or 60 days. It was added to this agenda as an add-on several days ago. If I knew it was on the agenda when we had the executive session last week and we reviewed it, I would have mentioned it there. It was added on afterwards. And the employees I speak with would like another chance to look at it. I questioned this board about, was everything that was changed,
September, and then they got
was everything that was changed explained to the employees and redlined? And I was told yes, and subsequently, we all agreed that that wasn't the case, and there was quite a few things that weren't redlined. So, I mean, to go from a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch change over the years with every other page redlined, I don't see why it has to be tonight. I mean, we can give the town employees 30 days to look at it and let them come back, and at the end of January or the beginning of February, they could voice their problems. But they voiced a lot of problems to me, and for the employees of the town, I respectfully ask to table it.
Okay, all right, thanks, Mike.
Okay, and you second it.
I seconded it, yes, so roll call vote.
Can I,
You want to,
just one comment?
hold on in.
I don't mind tabling it if it's 30 days, but I will ask, because I appreciate you illustrating that. The unions and various employees have had this for over 60 days or 40 days with a full red line. And if they want 30 days to do it, I'll honor that. I could respect that. But it's 30 days.
That's all I ask.
And when our attorney calls their attorneys, labor attorneys, and asks for anything, and there's radio silence, if there's radio silence again, it's going to be,
Well, it's
voted in
public.
30 days.
It's public now.
Yeah, agreed.
30
No,
days.
that's what I'm saying, I'll honor that, I agree with that.
If it was, if it wasn't on the agenda, I wouldn't say anything, but the fact that it was added on, and I bumped into a lot of people that had questioned it, I will look, I'll ask to table it, but it's not going to be forever. 30 days, if you have a problem, come to the board.
That's,
All right, fair enough. Great. All right. Mike, John, thank you. Susie and Jonathan, do you?
I respect what Mike is saying, but I also, the employees have had it, and they've had it, I believe, for an ample enough time to review it. But as respect for the new councilman, I will honor the 30 days, but like I said, after 30, we're voting on it. Because they have had it, it sounds like they haven't had it, they have had it with the red line version. If they chose not to either read or ask questions and get the answers for it, not one person contacted me. Because if they did, I would have went through it with them. If I needed help with it, I certainly would have asked them, got the help for them. And also, we've had some emails going back and forth where we've reached out to people, do you have any comments? And they had nothing. So we assumed, okay, you have no comments, there's no comments, let's move forward with this. This has been in the works for quite some time. Again, out of respect, I have no problem doing it for the 30 days as well.
Okay.
and I don't mind, just to add also, I wouldn't mind if we had work sessions, with the liaisons of the board working with the various unions, because to Mr. Borelli's point, it went from thin to thick. I believe, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, but part of that thickness is we tried to have our labor attorneys go through like 4 iterations or 4 changes, because some employees kept coming back and saying, my handbook doesn't have that. And we're looking at it saying, well, that's 3 handbooks ago. That this board or the previous board did not make all of those changes. So we tried to go back to say, like, I'll say just hypothetically 12 years ago, and 12 years, and then in year 10, and then year like 6, and then 2 years ago, we've tried to more than just redline it, like brown line, blue line, green line, red line, so that the employee can now take a look at the true evolution of it. And that could be confusing them, in all fairness to them. So maybe we should, within the 30 days, set up liaisons to work with them if they want to, you know, and have counsel or their counsel talk to our labor counsel, so that's fair.
Okay, all right. Thanks, John. And Susie. Jonathan, did you have anything?
I do know that the either legal representatives of each collective bargaining unit or the people who represent the collective bargaining unit had received this with ample time. I'm hoping that maybe we could send off communication tomorrow to make sure that it gets dispersed to the employees, because there may be some employees who did not see it, or who only had 5 days to review it, or 10 days to review it, but it was definitely sent out to the representatives for those collective bargaining units. But I think out of fairness to all of our employees, let's make sure that everybody has an opportunity to review it, look at it, 30 days, and yeah, please, let's bring any questions, concerns, comments, and keep it moving. Like Councilman Lupinacci said, we've probably gone through 15 different versions of it already, so there's nothing that's going to say we can't change something again if there's a very valid point that gets brought up.
Okay, great.
And the
Thanks,
last
John.
point is that any union contract would trump the handbook. The handbook is mainly entirely for non-collective bargaining employees. If the handbook is there, if the contract doesn't cover it, but if the contract contradicts it, or the contract supersedes the handbook, if any of the union employees are wondering.
That's right,
You know, you got
yes.
two messages here. The contract wins out all the
Good
time.
point. Good point. Thanks for making that point, John. You're correct. Greg, did you have something?
I think Councilman Lupinacci covered it, just that the handbook is for either the exempt employees or the collective bargaining unit employees and their contracts, portions of their contracts that, of their employment that aren't covered by the contracts.
Okay. All right,
The
great.
contracts govern if there's opposing terms.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thanks. Thanks, Greg. Okay, roll call vote to table, Ann?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. So the motion's carried to table, and we'll be addressing this in 30 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. That wasn't bad, right? 40 resolutions in 45 minutes, 50 minutes, not bad at all. So we buzzed through those pretty quick. And thank you all for being patient and staying here with us. Some could have left, but you stayed with us, so thank you for that. I'm going to open up the floor now to any public comment that anyone would like to make on the agenda items that we covered this evening. Tom, just for those at home and here, state your name.
Name is Tom Iannicari. I'm a producer for the Allen Twitty Insurance Agency in the area. In regards to resolution number 12, I'd like to revisit my comments from the same meeting a year ago. At this meeting last year, the town has not really put out a request for bid on the municipal insurance policies, and it got to be about a decade or more. And that's too long to go without, because as an insurance professional, I'll tell you, the insurance market changes. And I happen to know from my associate that I do municipals with, that there are several carriers who have never seen the town of Carmel submitted to them, and they would greatly like to have a chance to bid for the business. Now, when you have an insurance carrier that's hungry for your business, that puts you in a great opportunity. So the policies are up in April, and the workers' comp is in December. The policies of the various municipalities are covered, as Carmel is, by a group called NYMER. It's a reciprocal, kind of like a buying group. And NYMER is actually an owned subsidiary of Brown & Brown, who you have just designated as your broker in Resolution 12. Even more reason to, not only are you probably leaving a lot of money on the table, but there's an ethical question there. The insurance, like I said, the insurance industry changes. I think you guys really need to look at it. So my question is will this town board this year consider stepping up for an open bid with proper procedures to give you a fair, open, balanced look at the cost of your policies? That's rhetorical. You guys can
Yeah.
discuss it amongst yourself.
Yeah, we'll discuss it with the town controller as well, Mary Ann Maxwell. You know, so does anybody want to have any questions for Tom, or any concerns that they may have? And I appreciate you coming up, Tom, and,
I'm not familiar with the bidding process on the insurance, but I will state for the record that I find it unconscionable that any business, no matter how small or how large, is done by the town of Carmel that is not bid out is disgraceful. So if that's true, I'll look into it. But everything should be bid out. Everything.
One last question on Proposition 39, on the planning consultant contract.
yeah,
You'd mentioned certificates of insurance. I reviewed very lightly some of the points of that agreement. And my question is the town properly being indemnified by the consultant with insurance as additional insured? That's very important because especially when it comes to professional liability, professional errors and omissions. If the consultant makes an error that is costly or whatever to the town or a third party, the town can be sued. You want to make sure that your first line of defense is the consultant's insurance. This will save yourself a lot of headaches if something should go down.
Can I answer that, Ken?
yeah.
The answer to your question is yes, they are properly insured. But I also share your concern, and I brought it to the town attorney today and to the town supervisor today, that my reason for fighting those contracts and the contract I voted no on tonight is there's wording in it that I checked with our insurance company and they don't like. But they do have backup insurance, and the attorney and the supervisor assured me that they will look into it. And I think it's just something that's done over the years, for the last 30, 40 years, standard language, that it's time to be taken out. And I brought it to their attention today. I mean, I spoke with our insurance company several times over the last 2 or 3 days,
Okay.
specifically on the indemnification matter, which I think is what you're talking about.
All right. Exactly.
I think that what Councilman Borelli's point is, and Mr. Yannicari's point is, I don't think that it applies to the planning consultant. Okay, the planning consultant doesn't stamp or seal anything that gets submitted or approved. He is a review agent. As town council, any special counsel, the engineering consultant, that's a little different. There is a provision that we are to carry errors and omissions insurance that will indemnify the town in the event of any error or omission on our part in discharging our duties. And it's quite a valid question.
Yeah.
I just don't think it applies.
It wouldn't hurt. That's
I just
true.
don't think it applies to the planner himself, because
It
his
could-
role is a little different
I've
than
done-
my role or the town engineer or special counsel.
Greg, I've
That's all.
done errors and omissions for engineers and the like, and it's very important that professional liability, errors and omissions, be part of their insurance package, because that's really their front line of risk. And I wouldn't want to see any errors or omissions trickle down to the town level.
Agreed.
That-
I just mean with the planner's role is different than the engineer, an engineering consultant or the
Well, I
council.
just used that as an example.
Fair enough. When it came up with Mr. Clear, I just wanted to
Okay.
be clear that that's not necessarily the case with him, but certainly for me, for Mr. Charbonneau, for the engineering consultant, that point well taken.
Thank you for your time, and happy, healthy, wealthy 2018.
Yeah, same to you, Tom, thank you. Yeah. Is there anyone else that would like to come up and comment on the agenda items that we covered this evening?
Oh, yeah, can I go say something?
Hello.
Jean Hopper. Good evening, Happy New Year. I had a couple of questions. I'm new to this, and I just want to educate myself about these appointments. So how are appointments made? What is the process on some of these, appointments? Are they people that are existing in those positions, and you're just reconfirming another year, or how is this working?
Yeah, they're existing in those positions for the purposes of the resolutions and the appointments we made tonight. Their terms, some of their terms had expired, like the planning board term is 7 years, the zoning board term is 5 years? 5 years.
Zoning's 5.
And so some of them have come up for reappointment, and they're existing members of the various boards, the administrative boards, but they have to be renewed. In other words, they have to be reappointed to continue their service on those boards. I don't think there were any new ones on any of the boards that we appointed tonight, Greg, were there?
There's no new board membership. There are people whose terms have expired on the administrative boards, on the advisory boards, and I'm not sure if Ms. Hopper's speaking about the employment appointments also in terms of the...
In general, so that there are terms on some of those positions. So Mr. Barilli had brought up a very interesting point, that people have been in there much longer than their terms, 7-year terms, 5-year terms. Where are the options for new people to come in to have those positions? If we're considering someone who's been in a position 20, 25 years, which is an awfully long time, how would you have someone new get appointed to that position?
We opened a dialogue about term limits.
Okay, we do have terms there. You say they're 7- and 5-year terms.
We also opened a dialogue that the terms are too long.
We always announce it.
So it's something we're all going to hopefully work on this year.
Okay, that's good to know. I also...
Your question about how do new people get on, the problem this board has always had, and speaking for them, from being on your side, you don't find people coming up volunteering.
And are they asked to volunteer? Is that put out to the public? How is that? How is the public educated into who
I've
goes?
made multiple announcements here at town board meetings, in the newspaper, on our website, on the government access channels. We do have vacancies currently for the Board of Assessment Review. I think there's, Glenn, is there 3? 2? Two vacancies on the Board of Assessment Review, and there's a vacancy on the, Ethics Board. Yeah, there's a vacancy on the Ethics Board as well, and we haven't had anybody apply for those.
And those are publicized how again? I'm sorry.
It's publicized here at the town board meetings, where those at home that watch the meetings would hear it. It's in the newspapers. It's in the local weekly newspaper.
Not much of our town here, though, is there, unfortunately? Yeah, I'm just commenting.
Well,
That's
they're
a
at
fact.
home. There's a lot of people at home that are watching and do watch the meetings, and they learn
That's good.
through my announcements.
Right.
It's on our website. It's on our government access channels, channel 95 or 24 if you have Verizon, or 95 for Comcast. So we do try to put it out there. But these particular vacancies, there's no interest that we haven't had as of today's date. Nobody has expressed an interest in serving on those boards. We'll continue to announce those and try to get people to volunteer
Right.
and want to participate. But
So if there's no volunteer, it just kind of keeps rolling along.
That's the
Same
problem.
people are just appointed.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Councilman Borelli's
It's
correct.
new to me, so I'm just trying to learn myself. I also noticed that on several of the appointments, similar last names. We have the Spain agency as our designated insurance agent, but they were also listed on the Town of Carmel Lake Mayapack Park District.
Yeah,
similar.
well, it is. It's-
I'm just curious.
Yeah, they're brothers. One represents Brown and Brown, DBA Spain agency, and the other is William D. Spain, who is Spain and Spain attorneys.
Okay.
So,
So the one brother doesn't work for the same
No,
company? Okay.
no.
And also Maxwell. We have Mary Ann Maxwell, and we had John Maxwell as zoning boards of appeal, and then 2 other Maxwells in Lake Mayapack Park District Advisory Board.
To be on any of the lake park districts, be it Lake Cassie, Secor, Mahopac, you have to
Be a
have,
resident.
you
Right.
have to have a parcel there. And there are people that have come forward
so
to
they are
be on
related.
it.
There's a
They're re-
relation.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a relation, yeah. Yeah, they live on the lake.
Boards, the lake boards
I'm just
are
asking. yeah.
residents.
No, I understand that. I don't live in, I'm very close to Lake Cassie, so I know exactly how that works.
Yeah.
But I'm just
it's
wondering,
comprised of
I
lake
just see the
residents,
same
there's no
names
connections there.
in different positions
Yeah,
in the town,
there-
and I think the taxpayer has a right to know who those people are, and if there's a relation, we just want to make sure that we're all on the up and up on that, that's all. Just a question I had. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys. Congratulations, Mr. Barilli.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else for agenda items that would like to come up and speak? Come on up. Okay, there being none, we're going to open up the floor now to public comment on, this is the new business open forum portion of the meeting, where Mr. Borelli used to come up and address us.
Greg just said,
So he's on the other side
Can I
now.
go over there?
So you can't.
I can't go over there anymore.
No, you can't. Don't you have a spokesperson here?
But it doesn't have a 3-minute
Oh, right,
timeline.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so has anybody taken Mr. Borelli's place on that side at this point? I guess not. Anybody want to come up? You have to be a resident, taxpayer, business owner to speak at the new business open forum portion of the meeting. Going once, twice? Nicole? No? Okay. Michael? All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it, and Happy New Year.
I just got an announcement that school is closed tomorrow.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Mahopac School
Mahopac,
District
can
is
you
closed.
announce that Mahopac
We-
schools are closed
Bru-
tomorrow?
Bru-
And Carmel
Carmel
is
too?
too? Carmel is
too.
also.
How about New York City schools?
It may snow.
So everyone, yeah,
Yeah,
just
thanks for
address it.
saying
Yep.
they're closed. Yeah,
Yes.
because this storm has, I think it's tracked further west. You know, originally they had forecasted it to be east, go further east, but it seems like it's hugging the coast and coming further west. So our snow totals, I think, they're predicting 3 to 5 inches. But that's subject to change if this whole system continues to move west. And that's a good segue into what I want to announce. The highway superintendent has again asked me to please, your garbage totes, that everybody has your garbage cans, the green and blue ones, keep them away from the edge of the roadway, because when the snow plow comes down the street, you know, there's a chance, especially if it's snowing and the wind is blowing, they might hit them, and then you're going to, if they have garbage in them, you know where that's going to wind up, all over the place. Plus, it could damage the can, and you'll have to wait for another can to be delivered by your provider. So please keep your totes far enough away from the shoulder of the roadway where the snow plow is not going to strike them if they're clearing the snow. The other thing is, when you remove the snow from your driveways, please don't push it back into the road, especially after the road, if the road was already plowed. So when you're removing the snow from your driveway, push it off to the sides of your driveway, or find another means of removing it without putting it back in the road there, because a lot of times people will clear their driveways and they put it back in the roadway, and the plow truck has to come back again to clear the road because there's snow back in the roadway. So do your best of not depositing snow in the roadway. What else was Mike want me to announce, John?
Yeah, I wanted to make a statement and ask.
On this, Mike? On snow removal?
Nope.
Okay, and the other thing is, we have an ordinance in the town of Carmel, a snow ordinance, that you cannot park your car on the travel portion of the roadway from November 15th to April 15th. Please do not park your cars on the roadway during a snow event, because the plow has to go around your car, and eventually you're going to clean your car off, and you're going to probably put the snow either in the road or on your property, and then where the car was parked, they have to come back and replow the road. So you could receive a summons, a parking summons, if it's there overnight on the travel portion of the roadway in the town of Carmel. There are exceptions. Some people who live on very steep driveways, there is exceptions to that snow ordinance, but you'd have to contact the town of Carmel to find out if your street applies to that or not. It's in the town ordinance, so that's where you would look for that. Is that online, Ann?
Yes.
Okay, so you can look online.
Under vehicle and traffic.
Under the vehicle and traffic law, in the town code. 147. Town of Carmel Code 147. So if you'd like to know if your street applies to alternate side of the street parking, Town of Carmel Town Code on the website, Chapter 147. Take a look there. Mike, did you have something?
Yeah. Two things. Another thing I picked up today that people were telling me, a simple thing, but internet sell and drop spots in town. All the other towns, I understand, have an area and a spot designated for safety for something you sell online.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
we should put that on a forwarding agenda. And I wanted to basically say thank you to everybody. and I won't let you down, that's for sure. It's going to be interesting. And regarding my salary, I want to clarify this on the first night. Okay, when we went into the campaign, I thought it would be quite simple for me to just sign over my salary and benefits. Speaking to the town attorney, speaking to the town controller, we all thought it could be easily done with a resolution. After speaking to the town auditors, the state auditors, it seems that we should pay the government their tax money first before I give anything to anybody else. So I'm going to be taking the salary minus the tax money and donating it back. And also on the health insurance, I can't donate that, so I cancel my own health insurance. I'm taking the town's health insurance, which is better than my health insurance, and I'm going to pay for it and donate it back in the same way. I also have two people that are going to handle that for me. Representing Carmel will be Greg Elner, and representing Mahopac will be Michael Stern. It's a no-win job for them, but they're going to work with youth organizations and hopefully make everybody smile a little bit. One other thing that bugs me, it's simple, you'll all smile. They were put there 20 years ago, and they were put there for a purpose. 20 years ago, the planning board was packed, 10, 14 things on the agenda. I remember asking Harold Gary for a note from my wife, because it was 1 o'clock in the morning, saying, I'm at the planning board. And he would do it. And the parking lot was full. It's a true story. Okay? The parking lot was full. So we put signs up that says council parking only. And the only problem I have with the council parking only is the parking lot's empty now. And it says from 5 to 10 o'clock or 5 to midnight, and it doesn't even delineate Wednesday night. So a couple times I've been here on a Monday or Tuesday when there's court, there are cars parked up and down the street, and those spots are empty. So, you know, I'm not going to use mine. You guys keep yours if you want, but, you know, I like the highway, got to take mine down. I'm not going to use it. I park closer. You know, you don't need them anymore. But again, thank you to everybody, and I'll do my best.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Okay, anybody else have any other announcements? Jonathan? Susie?
Just Happy New Year.
Yeah, I have an announcement regarding the Christmas trees. This is for AAA carding, so if you're serviced by AAA carding, Christmas tree pickup for residents serviced by AAA, Christmas trees excluding artificial, so they won't take your artificial tree, will be picked up at the curb on the date listed below based on your regular collection days. So Monday, if you have Monday and Thursday collection, your tree pickup will be on 1/19/18. So January 9th of 18, your tree will be picked up if you have Monday and Thursday collection. Those who have Tuesday and Friday collection, that applies to me, your trees will be picked up on January 16th, 2018. So Monday and Thursday collection for AAA, your tree will be picked up on the 9th. And if you have Tuesday or Friday collection, your tree, if you leave it out at the curb, will be picked up on the 16th. Do not place trees in plastic bags or totes. All trees must be free of ornaments, lights, tinsels, etc. I guess some people throw their trees out, ornaments out with their lights and tinsel. I don't know if too many people use tinsel anymore, but they don't want any of that on the tree because I think they pick them up and they eventually run it through a chipper. They chip them up and I think they use the mulch for something. They donate it maybe. So don't, when you take your tree down, take everything that you put on it off of it, then put your tree out. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact AAA Carding and Rubbish Removal at 845-628-5000. Really, for R&S waste, this is the multifamily, if you live in townhouses or condos or multifamily houses. If you have a dumpster pickup, place your Christmas tree on the side of the dumpster. Don't put it in the dumpster, place it on the side of the dumpster. If you have curbside pickup, place your Christmas tree at the curb. Again, do not place in plastic bags. Trees must be free of any ornaments, lights, or anything that was on the tree. Any questions for R&S pickup, call Mike at 914-378-0100 at extension 1829. That's for R&S pickup. So that's all the announcements I have for tonight. And if the board is finished making announcements, we're going to close the meeting from executive session because we do have to go back in, and this is a contractual item that we have to discuss in executive session with the board and council. Next town board meeting here will be next Wednesday, January 10th, and that's going to be for a work session or voting meeting? Public hearing. We have a public hearing next week on January 10th for the borrowing of funds for Carmel Water District Number 2 for a main replacement project. So that's
Very,
very important.
very, very important to the people that live in the hamlet of Carmel. Very, very important. Please come out.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. You know, this public hearings at a time when the public gets to speak and address the board at public hearings. In the past, we've had very few people come out, you know, and speak at public hearings. But that's your time. That's everybody outside of here and everybody at home is your time to address the board, speak about what the item is that the public hearing is being represented for. We want to hear from you. You know, so please, as Councilman Borelli stated, if you live in Carmel Water District Number 2 and you have a concern about this, and it's your money that we're spending for you for a project in your respective water district, we want to hear from you. So that's next Wednesday, January 10th at 7 p.m. right here in Carmel Town Meeting Room. Okay? So I need a motion to go into executive session. So moved by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you next Thursday, January 10th.
I'm sorry?
Happy New Year to everyone.